Welcome to another edition of Leadership Through Partnership, a presentation of the Lorain County Commissioners. I'm Craig Adams from AM 930 WEOL Radio. Behind the camera, Kristen Bauer from the Chronicle Telegram. Our guest today is Captain Jack Hammond from the Lorain County Sheriff's Office. Captain, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
When we talk about the Lorain County Sheriff's Office, when it comes to coverage and responsibilities, can you give us some of the primary responsibilities the Sheriff's Department has in the county?
Well, the sheriff has several major ones. I mean, obviously law enforcement, to keep the peace. He has a civil division, and then he has the jail. All three major components. With about 242 employees, 225 of those being full-time. So we operate under two basic divisions, the law enforcement division and the corrections division. It's a pretty large staff. It's a pretty big undertaking, and there's a lot of work being done every day, believe it or not, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
When we see cruisers on the road, are there particular coverage areas you're responsible for?
Typically the sheriff has jurisdiction with, throughout the whole county, but particularly they patrol the township areas, and they're available, for assistance, Valeria, Lorain, North Ridgeville. I mean, it's a team effort. So, but primarily patrol happens in the townships, and you'll see cruisers in the cities a lot of times because they're serving civil paperwork and things of that nature, through the civil division.
What does it take to operate a county jail?
It takes a lot of good people, and it takes a lot of money. I mean, the budget for the jail operations runs about $13 million a year. Fortunately, in 1995, the citizens passed a 0.25% sales tax dedicated solely for the operation. So, a typical good year, it brings in about $10 million. So then the commissioners are supplementing out of the general fund, 3 to 3.5 million.
And of course, it's 24/7, so
It's
you need a sizable, well-trained staff.
It's a 24/7 operation. We have about 137 employees on that side in that division, the corrections division. Right now, currently, we have 98 corrections officers. We have a full medical staff. Most people wouldn't realize it. We have a physician, psychiatrist, a dentist, and a psychologist under contract. Then we have a full-time, our employee, physician's assistant, an RN administrator, 11 LPNs, a medical secretary, and 4 mental health counselors.
And are those people at your facility?
They're at our
Yeah.
facility. They're employees of the Lorain County Sheriff's Office. The taxpayers, that's their, that's where the money goes at the Sheriff's Office, personnel.
And I'm thinking that's one area people may not realize. They wouldn't think of that.
You got to realize we process about 8,000 new inmates per year, and we're releasing about the same number. Now, typically, most people who come to jail are not healthy. And in this day and age, with the opiate issue that we have throughout the United States, along with drug and alcohol addictions, we have some pretty serious issues that our medical staff and mental health staff take care of. It's a 24/7 operation within the 24/7 operation.
I assume you've seen more and more people coming in with opioid problems?
Yes, a tremendous amount. We've been fortunate. Our staff's pretty diligent. We catch a lot of stuff. We have, unfortunately, had some overdoses in the facility. We recently added a body scanner that gives almost like an MRI image. That's been very helpful, and we do our best, but if someone is really determined to get some type of drug in, especially when they know they're coming to jail, they'll find places to put it that we really don't want to talk about.
Typically, how long are people there? Are they there on their way to someplace else, being held for court? How would you describe it?
It's deceiving. I mean, our average inmate stays about 21 days. The majority of our jail are felonies now. They're unadjudicated. At some point, many of them move on to the state systems. A lot of them, though, they get adult supervised release or bond. So we're kind of transient. We're always turning. We're always moving, averaging, like I said, 30 new ones a day and 30 out the door a day. So.
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
1979. I'm in my 39th year. I'll start my 40th year in December.
How would you describe the work? Challenging, difficult,
No,
self-fulfilling?
It's very difficult. It's very challenging, and it is. I mean, when you walk out of there and you think that you've done the right thing, then maybe you even helped someone to even consider thinking about a different way of living their life. I mean, it puts a smile on your face, and you know, you come back for another day. They're not all good, but no place is. But in 40 years, I've had more good days than bad.
And what would you tell someone who wants to be the next Captain Jack?
Prepare for some gray hairs. You know, I mean, it's changing. I mean, your day can start out as quiet and as mundane as possible, and you're getting some paperwork done, and then the bell can ring, and it's all hands on deck, and everything changes. You know, so. And when you incarcerate 400 people, you know, they have 400 lives that's been impacted. They bring with them the worries of their family, their disconnect from the family, wanting out. We're telling them what to do for the first time, many of them in their life. So they're not the best demographic to work with, but for the most part, they come around and they see that we're not there to punish, we're not there to judge, we're there to keep the security. So for the most part, we have a pretty good relationship with them,
Okay.
as much as can be expected.
Right, right. Our guest today has been Captain Jack Hammond from the Lorain County Sheriff's Office. Captain, let's hope for a few more quiet days here. How about that?
Absolutely.
You've been watching Leadership Through Partnership, presented by the Lorain County Commissioners. I'm Craig Adams from AM 930 WEOL.